Good morning. It's a little bit bright this morning. I got a couple things going on, but I'll take it. Boy, I'll take it. It's nice. I'm in a t-shirt. Weather is fantastic. You can see behind me, we just transferred and put a bale of hay in here for the cows and calves. I got several things I got to get done today. I isolated off one of the calves, 17-3. In a previous video, I showed you that I'd sold him. The brand inspector will be here this evening. Get that brand inspection done, and they'll pick him up and take him off. I'll give you a look at him. That's him there. So as I was saying, we isolated 17-3. That's him there. The brand inspector will be here this evening about 5:45, 6 p.m., somewhere in there. We'll get the brand inspector to inspect him, and then we'll load him in the chute over there. We'll move Mama over here, load him in the chute. They'll back up, and we'll have him shipped off. We'll put Mom and the calf back where they go. It's a beautiful, beautiful morning. I'm gonna walk over here. We'll try to get a look. There was an inversion this morning, which was really pretty. Inversion means that the high pressure is up high, and basically it's holding the clouds below, which is really kind of neat. If you look at the clouds, it's starting to lift, but the clouds are held really low right there on the mountain. So it just made it really a pretty, pretty morning this morning. I don't know, it must be, well, it's hard for me to say, 45, somewhere in there. But it's really a beautiful morning. So calves are looking really nice. Everybody's doing well. We'll get some stuff done here. The cows have been moved into the north pasture and it's been closed. So because of that, I'm able to move kind of this cobbled up line that goes right here. I'm able to kind of get all those panels out of there and put them over on the other side. We're going to need them here in a couple of days when we work cows, but it'll clean up this area and make it look a lot nicer. So I'm going to get working on that. And then I've got a little switching around to do with our electric cables, get those sorted out. With winter being over, we don't need as many of the extension cords, and with the snow finally gone, we can actually see what's on the ground, and I'll be able to switch those out and get things kind of more organized and looking a heck of a lot better. So I'm going to get that stuff done, and then I got to get some water done. I've got to get water in here for this steer, 17-3. Because he's by himself there, I put some hay in, but they always need some water, especially if they've got feed. They'll get all that dry feed in them and then need some water. So let's get to work. First thing I'm going to do is get a little grain to Mama here. She's bellering. She thinks she's starving to death as well. It's funny, you wouldn't think so, but animals, cows, whatever, get very used to one person. Like sheep, they get used to the shepherd, and cows get the same way. So if you get here and you've been gone for a little while, which I've been gone at the rig, if I get here, as soon as I get here, boy, she starts crying and wanting a little sweet feed, because she knows that I'm the one that usually gives her that sweet feed. So we'll get her a little sweet feed, these pellets. Gotta move this over there. Now with the cows and the bull over there, I don't have to worry about this trash can here getting knocked over and that kind of thing. Like I said, the bull had figured out how to knock it over and get into all the grain and everything that was in there. So that was the problem. We had to tuck it back. So we'll give these guys some feed. They'll be really happy with us. Hi, Mama. How you doing, babe? All right, there you go, babe. There you go. All right. So I'm going to kind of clean the place up a little bit, kind of spring cleaning, if you will. Try to get some of these panels out of here. Try to clean the place up, get it kind of dressed up a little bit. It's that time of year. Able to get some work done finally. So I'll haul all these panels up and around the corner over there. It's a little bit noisy, I know. So part of the reason I'm moving them over there is because we're going to need them over here in a few days. We've got the vet coming on the 16th to Bangs vaccinate. So at that time, what we'll need is all the heifers kind of isolated so she can Bangs vaccinate all of our heifers. In our area, elk and bison have been tested positive for brucellosis. So due to that, all of our heifers have to be Bangs vaccinated. And that just ensures that they don't have brucellosis and they don't pass that on to their offspring. So they'll all be Bangs vaccinated and we won't have to worry about that at all. So it's just a process that we have to go through with all of the heifers, all of the heifers or cows. Any of the female cows that we have got to be Bangs vaccinated. So that's just another thing that we have to do. And so we'll get that done on the 16th. So I'm going to need all these panels over there to bring the cows into the main corral. And then from there, we'll work them through the system here. And everybody will be in pretty good shape. When we work them through, we'll work everything through. The cows will all get a pour on and an oral drench. And they may get a 1-year booster. We give them a booster each year with some of the, like the Valbazin and the, not the Dectomax, Valbazin and the, I forget the name of the other one off the top of my head, but they'll get a booster. They'll get all the pour on, the oral drench, which are all for any kind of parasites or different things like that. So we'll make sure that they're all up to date. We'll put all those back out there. Once the heifers get Bangs vaccinated, we'll put them all out with the cows. We'll put all the steers out with the cows. We'll put mom and the baby out with the cows. The only thing we'll have left back in the corrals here will be the 3 bulls and the 1 steer. So that'll just be the 4. We'll hold them back until July. Mid-July, we'll kick out all the bulls, so they'll be with the cows at that point. We wait until July because we don't want anything bred until that time frame. And then when they get put out there mid-July, what they'll do is that'll put us at a calving time about the 1st of May, right in that time frame right there. And that's kind of what we're shooting for because this is the weather we're hoping for. The last couple days, it's kind of been right between a rain and a snow. We still got a little ice on some of the water troughs and that kind of thing here. Just last night it froze. And if I'm gone, if I'm at the rig, I don't want Christy out here in a wind, 15 degrees, driving wet snow and that kind of thing, trying to help a heifer or a cow calve. We've tried to plan it so that I have that time off in May, at least the very first part until the end of May. And then, so that should get us kind of through and it'll be warmer like it is right now. This is plenty reasonable. We can work in this and it's a heck of a lot better doing so with them. So anyway, we'll get that all done here coming up. The 16th is probably when we'll work. We may work some of them the 15th. So anyway, that's what we'll work on. So now I'm going to shut up and start moving these panels. It's going to be a little noisy. They've got these chains and everything on there and these things clang. Try to make it as quiet as possible, but you can only do so much with them. So. And I'm not going to show my moving each one of these panels. There's really no reason for that. Moving all the panels over there. After that, what I'll do is I'll turn it back on as we're doing other projects. One thing I was going to point out again is that, and I know I've said it in the past, a lot of times you do a lot of work by yourself. You don't have a lot of help. You can't hire anybody. There's just, it's just cost prohibitive. So you end up doing a lot of things by yourself, moving these panels or whatever. And So it's just something that you have to kind of get used to, is doing a lot of these things on your own and by yourself. So just to point that out. It's not something that will kill you. It's just something that you have to be aware of, because it is a lot of physical work at times to get some of these things done. And a person may not be aware of all that comes with it. And I know I've not indicated everything that comes with the cows and the calves and all of that, but it is something that you should probably be aware of in advance, is that it's a lot of work, and most of the time you'll be doing it by yourself. You may be able to work with a neighbor or something like that, but most of the time you'll find that the neighbor's busy doing something of their own, whether that be fixing equipment or, who knows, fixing fence, moving the cows of their own, moving panels, whatever. If it's something you can help with, of course, you can offer to help, and then hope that they'll have time to help you as well. It's not always a guarantee though, so if you have time and you're not doing anything, then you always want to kind of offer help to a neighbor. And generally, if they see you struggling with something by yourself, they'll try to offer help as well. So, but there is a lot of manual labor that you do all on your own. See if I can catch this. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to zoom in enough for you to be able to see it, but there's a there's a bald eagle circling over here, just on this side over here. So I'll see if I can't zoom in enough to show you that. Well, he's kind of moved off in the distance, but there you can see him. Try to zoom in a little more. There you go. We have a lot of wildlife in this area. In this county, we have all of the big game animals that you can hunt in this one county. We've got bighorn sheep, we've got mountain goat, we've got elk, we've got bison, we've got mule deer, we've got white-tailed deer, we've got antelope, we have turkey, we have pretty much everything you can hunt right here in our county. So he's flying off. It's going to be difficult to see, but anyway, that was a bald eagle circling in the area. Okay, the next project is going to be electrical. So we purchased new cables, new electrical cords over the winter because they're heavier. These others are pretty small and light, and so they don't carry as much amperage as the others do. These newer ones will carry a little more amperage, and we really needed that over the winter here. With all the heaters going, the pump, etc., we really needed more power out here. So we were going to replace them, but they got covered in snow. So it made it really difficult over the winter to get that done. So now I'm going to replace these with the heavier, longer cords that carry more amperage. We just want to make sure that we're not melting anything or doing anything that may cause us a problem in the long run. So we always tie all of these to ensure they don't come disconnected. These old hubs kind of protect the connection. They tell us where the connection is located. So with these newer ones, we should, come on you, we should be in really good shape with these. And I may have to switch these around. I've got one that's a little longer, so I may have to swap it. I'll see what I've got here. It looks like there's a few wraps here on this post, and what I'll do is just unwrap that so it's just a straight shot. So yeah, I think we'll have plenty. So you always want to try to leave yourself a little slack, because it never fails. You get everything pulled tight all the way on this other end or whatever, and you don't need it really on the other end. Where you need it is down here. And so you pull it tight, and then sure enough, now you got to move where things are hooked up because of the pump or whatever. And with that, if you got it pulled tight, then you're really going to be in a bind, and then you got to do all this. And it's a heck of a lot easier just to have the slack in it there now than it is if you got 2 foot of snow on the ground here and you're struggling trying to figure it all out and so on and so forth. It's just a lot easier to have it set up now than it is otherwise. So I'll get everything hooked up here, and then what I'll do is I'll pull it back toward the tanks. Move is back toward the tanks and different things. So you may need slack on that far end, and that's kind of the way we'll pull it. Pull it back this direction. I'll pull this tire over here so it's over that connection there that I just made. And then I'll get all this other cord up and out of the way. These other cords are fine for the house, but when you start drawing this much power on this end, it really does kind of really pulls a lot of amperage. So don't want to do that if you don't have to. Same thing, I'm not trying to pull it tight. I'll go in, I'll get some slack pulled out of it on that end, so it's kind of loose. It doesn't have to be tight this section either, because we don't want a truck to kind of pull over and grab it a little bit and then unplug everything. So I'll take this tire and set this tire on the other end down there so people know that's the connection. They don't want to drive over it. Same thing, I'll pull a little slack here. All right. So now we got good heavy cord all the way to the plug-in, which will be really nice. We don't have to worry as much. We'll get some protectors, waterproof protectors to put over these ends right here. As I said, it was kind of a last minute deal getting all this stuff going last year. Shouldn't have been, absolutely should not have been, but it was. So I'll drag these cords over to the truck and I'll roll them up. I'll start filling water tanks.